Well, hello again. Today we are going to be doing an oil change on the Kubota ZD28. Its oil's black, so I'll be showing you guys where to do the oil change. In case you don't know, I'll be using that Rotella Shell 10W30 diesel engine oil. Also, the filter part number for this engine model, which is the D1105, is this. This is the filter you need for that engine. I also will be checking the coolant to see if it needs to be added or not. So down here, underneath the engine, let's see if I could focus it for you or somehow get better lighting. Where are you at? Man, well, here's the nut that needs to come off up here, and this is your oil pan basically here. So I'll be taking that nut out, which is a 14 millimeter on this particular machine. So I'll be draining that out, and then of course on the side you have your oil filter, which we'll be removing also. So let me see if there's a way I can set you up, or if not, it's kind of tight in there because I gotta get my oil pan under there. There's no room for the camera, so let me do this and show you steps by steps. Okay, so it's draining, but you see how it's coming out kind of slow? Well, what you want to do in that case is just take the cap off where you fill it up, and this will allow air to go in and the oil to come out a lot faster. Now you see the difference. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's a stronger flow now. And we'll just let it sit there and drain. Once that's drained completely, then I will remove the oil filter. Okay, so the screw is still off at the bottom, and now I'm going to remove the oil filter. I slide my pan over, so any oil that goes down, it'll go into the pan. Now in theory, this is hand tightened when you put it on, so you should be able to remove it by hand. Sometimes it's a little harder, so you may need something to do it, but this one will allow me to just take it off by my hand. I put a little paper towel here because it will leak a little bit of oil. Even though I got my pan, I try to keep the machine as clean as I can from dripping oil. So put this on the ground because I'm pretty sure I'll get it everywhere. Flip it upright. And of course, this one does not have a model number. Yes, it does. As I said, HH150-32094, which is exactly the one I mentioned here, 32094. So it just replaces that. Bear with me 1 second, so I take this one out. Where you guys at? I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do here. Of course, I'm gonna clean up here where it spilled a little bit. But normally, before I put my filter back on, I like to put a little bit of oil in there, just a little bit. And that way, when you start your engine, there's already oil in there. And also, just grab a little bit and go around the rubber seal. So when you hand tighten, it'll make a nice seal with the gasket. So let me clean that out and I'll be back with you guys. Okay, so I cleaned it as much as I can for right now, but I'll clean it some more. Another thing, when you take your bolt out, there's a copper washer. So just make sure when you put this back, that washer is still in place. I normally like to, clean everything thoroughly before I put it back on. Inspect it, make sure there's no metal shavings. If there is, then something's going on in your engine. Something's scraping and there isn't, so clean everything good, like so. And then put this back on. So before I put my filter back on, I'm gonna put the screw back on. So I'll be back with you. Okay, I cleaned it as much as I can. I put the screw back on. I still have my pan underneath and paper towels there because I did put oil inside the filter, so when I tilt it, you might have a little bit of a spill. So instead of getting in the ground, I'll just go in the oil pan. Like I said, I put oil in there, put oil on the gasket rubber seal, and then you just put it back on there. Like I said, it just needs to be hand tightened. Probably overdid it, but I kind of wanted to get the part number where I could see it, so when I need to order another one, I don't have to do a whole lot of searching. It's just right there. All right, that's it. And now it's just a matter of filling back with oil. I believe, not quite sure, but I think it's 3.6 liters. I will let you know in a minute. Okay, so it's 3.4 liters of oil. This 1 gallon brings 3.7, so I'll put judging 3.4. Suggesting to these companies, they do put the liters here, but if you did it reverse, like 3.5 is at the top. 3.5 is at the top, and then it starts with 0.5, 1.0, 1.5. But if you did this in reverse and you had 3.5 down here, as I pour it, now I know how much I poured in by the numbers being reversed. So just a suggestion, if you did this upside down, it'll let me know how much I poured in. If you go from the bottom up, yeah, I know that's how much oil is in there, but I need to know how much I'm using. So just a suggestion to these companies, reverse these numbers and help us out. Or if I'm reading this wrong, somebody let me know. So the oil goes in here. Of course, I showed you the cap earlier. I'm using a funnel. It's in there. And push this all the way in. Right there. And just fill it up. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is how much I've poured in, but now the thing is just telling me, okay, now you got 1.0 left. Okay, but I need to pour in 3.4. How do I know how much I poured in? Yeah, you may do math and subtract and that, but why not just reverse the numbers, and that lets me know how much of the 1 liter I already poured in. So I'll put a little bit more and then I'll check it with the dipstick. So I got just a little under 1.0. Sometimes you might just want to wait for that to drain a little bit. And can you see? Let me see if I can fix this lighting. There you go. So your dipstick is this here. Don't get oil everywhere, and we want to be up in this top line here. So let's see where we're at. And we're, I don't know how well you can see, but we're right over here. Oh, right there. So I'll put just a little bit more. About that much. Let that run down through the system, through the engine. Give it a couple seconds. And check the dipstick again. We're almost there. We're right there. So put a little bit more. We're in between 0.5 and 1.0. So I'll put up to 0.5. That's what I'll have remaining. So if somebody's good at math, let me know how much oil this machine took. It's measured by liters. Perfect. We're right above the top line, which is this one here. So we're good. So you put the dipstick back on. Take your funnel out. Make sure you put the cap back on. Do not forget that. Alright, so that's for the oil change. And now we go with the coolant. This is your coolant overflow, which is looks like it's empty, but drop everything. Oh, so now that I'm down here, let me show you. Now, you clean as much as you can as you go. You don't want to leave too much oil residue down here. You clean down there as much as you can. You know, just keep your machines clean. It'll last you a long time. So, radiator cap. Do not open this when it's hot, because it will blow up on you. Now the coolant that I got, I do have to mix, and as you can see, it definitely needs some. So that's where I will fill it up. And here, not okay, high and low. So you got two marks here. So I think I'll fill this up to the H as well. I'm trying to do this and hold the flashlight and not cover your view. But there's two marks here. There's one here, down low, and then you got another one up here, which is high. So I'm gonna fill that up. I'll put some in there. And like I said, the coolant I'm using is concentrated, so I do have to mix it to make it 50-50, which is 50 antifreeze and 50 water. So that's about it. I don't know if you guys want to see that or not, but the main video of this was to make an oil change. So let me know if this helps, or let me know if there's anything different that I should be doing. Thanks for watching.